How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Divik, and welcome back into Paleo News. So, this has been an interesting time with ever since the 5.5 update has dropped. It broke a lot of mods, but in the past few days, a lot of mod developers have rolled out updates, and Scorching Kami, Moronada, Big Al, Mr. Tristan, uh, very Gruga just rolled out an update not too long ago for Anomalocaris. And if you are still having issues with any mods or whatnot, Moronada actually has a fix. If I can find, oh my gosh, I'm in so many different discords. Where's Moro's? Oh, here it is. Just look for the giant snake one. But anyways, let's see. Where was it? Where was it? So, for those that are having issues with mods showing as invalid, no performance change / boost or any other weird issues, read this. It might be worth it, honestly, to either verify your game files, PC only, or just outright reinstall the game. That will go and basically get rid of any corrupt files / old files you may have from the previous Ark 5.2. Might even help with boosting your frames per second and performance if you haven't seen any changes. Unreal Engine is very tricky about engine upgrades and can leave old files, which will certainly cause issues if you have duplicate files or old ones. Hope this helps anyone, not a guaranteed fix, but it's something to try at this point. And that was this morning, but as I said, Moronada and a lot of other devs have been rolling out updates for their mods and whatnot, so that's really, really good. I believe PC and Xbox did just get their invalid text update thingamajigs actually earlier today when I'm recording this. Ouch, I just hit my knee there. Ow, trying to adjust. But with that being said, what's going on over in Paleo Ark land? Now, the 5.5 update did mess up a bunch of stuff, but which hasn't changed is a bunch of patch notes that were rolled out actually on the 5th, so like 4 days ago at time of me recording this. So first up, we have Apex Predators. So first and foremost, the 5.5 compatibility update. This is true for every single Paleo Ark mod, but for the Tyrannosaurus specifically and the Giganotosaurus actually, fixed the turn-in-place toggle requiring a second input to toggle off for the first time. So that's a change for both of them. And for Rex specifically, we have an additional attempted fixes for the immobilization glitch. If you don't know what that means, basically you can't do anything with the Rex. He's kind of stuck. And so for Giga, we have added missing buff socket, specifically the head, for status effect particles. And they fixed the open mouth for center aim offset. I actually don't know what that means, but I will ask and for clarification, and then there will be text on screen to let you guys know what that is. And miscellaneous changes is optimized HUD related textures, and this is also true for dangerous depths and native aquatics as well. Speaking of those mods, dangerous depths, 5.5 compatibility update. As I said, they fixed the 5.5 issues with surface swimming, breaching, and grabbing. Eye pupils now scale dynamically according to water depth, time of day, and torpidity. They added missing buff sockets to the center and head for status effect particles. Again, at time of my recording, I have no idea what that means. And of course, the optimized HUD textures. For native aquatics, we have quite a few things. So for Cryptocolytus, the emissive glow is now dynamic and scales with the current veil charge and veiling teammates status effect. Default emissive brightness has been lowered. Polished the veil AoE visuals. Fixed water level up animation not playing. Adjusted position of buff sockets for status effect particles. Removed Herobrine. I actually have no idea what that means. For the obelisk squid, it fixed model rotation, which broke with 5.5. Added missing buff sockets to the center and head for status effect particles. Again, don't know what that means. And of course, they optimize the HUD related fixes. And Ascension just got a compatibility update, and Greater Moss Chops has the missing HUD icon fixed. So big shout out to team member Orca for taking care of all of this. They are the rising star on this team, and I would agree. Super, super cool. Super freaking cool. You'll love to see it. And as far as new stuff, as in stuff that just dropped recently, in the last day or so, there's quite a bit. So you remember how I mentioned in the last video that Eva Xenosaurus got some animation showcased? It was in place. We got the walk animation and the run animation. Well, we have more stuff in the kit. So let's go ahead and read the text, and I'll let that video play while I talk. Okay, so here we go. I'm blown away by my team's efforts. Here's your first look at Eva Xenosaurus moving and grooving in the kit. Currently, his textures for his feathers are broke with 5.5 somehow, but we're fixing that soon. This guy was modeled by Dark Edge TV with textures by Loki, which you can't see currently, sad face, and animations done by Nicky Boy and Sir Blamson, who handled the locomotion. Actually, Nicky Boy is also Australian Nick, by the way. I had to double check that. And there's the file name, which I'm going to keep out of my screenshot because there's a word that I'm not going to say in my videos. But there's a couple things worth noting for Theri. A couple of things. Theri will be out this summer, so get hyped. It's bigger than the vanilla Theri, but slightly smaller than the Rex. I'm assuming the Evo Rex? ? Yes, it can enter the boss arenas, much like the vanilla Theri. And speaking of vanilla Theri, it will release with basic vanilla Theri features first and quality of life improvements, whatever those may be, and to be updated with the newer abilities much later down the line, much like with the Eva Xenosaurus, and it getting its raft saddle, or the whatever you call it, the raft saddle much later down the line. It's much like that in the 3-step program that I mentioned some episodes ago. And earlier today, and also the reason I had to re-record this video again. Just kidding. Debs, you're great. We have another look at Eva Theri. Okay, so he doesn't look half bad, lacking the feathers. I'm not going to say that word. You see it on screen. We are interested in a more sparse feathered version for other maps. And yes, the green coloration is a Chased by Dinosaurs reference. If you don't remember Chased by Dinosaurs, here's the Theri from that. But our boy is much better looking than that one, I will say, even without its feathers. And I can't wait to see its feathering, and cross my fingers that we don't get that look while I'm recording, because I'd have to re-record again. I'm just kidding. Depths is great, as I said. But yeah, you'll love to see it. And you know what? If I could just derail for just 1 second before we continue. I know a lot of people have been waiting for content from me, and I'm getting everything squared away. I now have ASA downloaded on my PC, so that's great. I'm in the process of getting ASA re-downloaded on my PS5, as per the suggestion by Moronata, as I stated earlier in the video. But if things keep going as well as they are, Paleo Ark videos will return, other than the news. Because as I said before, I have several videos in the pipeline that I want to work on, and I needed ASA functioning in order to do those. So that's kind of what took so long, and that's what's taking so long. And plus, these are big files that I'm downloading and updating and whatnot, so it is taking some time. And plus, my internet is not the best. It's currently going to take 11 hours to download ASA on my PS5, but I'm working on a fix for that hopefully later today, so that will be done quicker. But if not, again, I have ASA on my PC now, and I will be using that for maybe a lot of any new Paleo Ark news videos or anything new in game, so that should be exciting. But otherwise, that is it for anything to do with Paleo Ark or modded news and anything in general. Shout out to CurseForge and Wildcard for working very, very diligently and trying to roll out these patches. I know they're probably all very frustrated. CurseForge is probably frustrated with all this invalid stuff. But as I said, PlayStation got it. Xbox and PC got it earlier today. So that's really good. it's probably just a pain in the neck for them, I'm sure, and they're probably very happy to get all these things rolled out. But that is all for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like if you're new, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time.